Hi. This time we are in English this time. After the Chinese New Year with Andrea Fessler, the founder of Premiere Performances Hong Kong.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm sorry my Cantonese is not good enough.
Do you speak any Cantonese at all?
No.
No, not yet.
No.
But how many years have you been in Hong Kong?
13.
13 years.
13 years.
You know, I have to ask you this first question. I thought of the perfect beginning of our interview is to ask you one thing is, I remember when I was very young and I came to your concerts that you had organized, you always came out in the beginning to give a very welcoming speech. And as a child or a teenager, I was so impressed by the impeccable pronunciation of English that you commanded.
Oh, well, that's
that by
very
the pronunciation that is already so impressive and also so welcoming. So I want to ask, where are you from actually?
I'm from Vancouver.
From Vancouver?
Yes.
Were you born in Vancouver?
I was not born in Vancouver, but I basically lived my entire childhood from the age of 2 until I graduated from high school and left.
And you went to the States, I suppose?
I went to Canada. I went to Ottawa, to Carleton University for my bachelor's.
Was it anything related to arts?
No. I was studying economics and political science.
Those are my favorite subjects, actually.
Well, I wanted to be the first woman prime minister of Canada in those
you did?
days.
Really?
But Kim Campbell beat me to it.
Okay.
So actually, my 3 years in Ottawa cured me of all of my political aspirations. And then I decided to be a lawyer. So I went to Harvard Law School.
Oh, you did?
And so I finished my law degree, class of 91, at Harvard. And then I was a corporate lawyer for 15 years.
Okay, and then you came to Hong Kong.
I came to Hong Kong in 2004, still working as a corporate lawyer.
Very interesting. I must ask this question. As a foreigner, what was your first impression coming to Hong Kong? 我而家問緊佢啱啱嚟香港嗰陣時候嘅故事。佢話佢之前喺加拿大長大啦，跟住去咗哈佛嘅呢個法律學院啦，跟住就做咗個 banker 同埋一個 lawyer，就跟住嚟咗香港。
Well, you have to understand that I lived in New York and London and Tokyo before I arrived in Hong Kong.
Centers
so
of
I lived in great cities. So believe it or not, Hong Kong actually felt very small to me when I arrived here.
Small in what sense?
It felt like a very small town, actually.
Right. Or is it a big village?
A big village, a small town,
right.
A small town with a big name.
Okay.
So it was, Tokyo really felt like a big city where one could be totally anonymous. Whereas in Hong Kong, that wasn't true. I couldn't go outside my house in my pajamas, for example, like I could do in New York, because I would always run into people I knew.
In Hong Kong,
in Hong Kong. And I remember actually at the beginning it felt very claustrophobic. And my husband decided that we just were not going to socialize with people who were in finance.
In Hong Kong?
In Hong Kong, because he's in finance.
Around mid-2000?
2004, we moved here. And so we socialized with a lot of teachers and journalists at the beginning. But then we realized that it was impossible to cut out the entire finance sector in Hong Kong. But, over the years, as we made friends and we established a home and a community, that feeling of being in a small town actually has been very comforting. No matter where you go, you'll always run into people you know.
Indeed.
So
and especially with music as well.
Right. Well, I didn't pick up the music until 2007.
So what happened? What brought you to music? Did you play any music instrument before?
I studied the piano as a child, like so many kids. Actually, my father studied to be a professional pianist and then ultimately went into medicine. And for a while, he wanted me to be the professional pianist that he didn't become, but I had absolutely zero interest or talent for that matter.
Right.
So I put 10 years into the piano as a kid, but I don't play
in Vancouver.
In Vancouver,
right.
yeah.
So and then what made you founded the Premiere Performances Hong Kong?
It's a chain of events, I guess I would say. I was working as a lawyer. I had one small child who was born in 2004, and I was really looking for something a little bit more fulfilling in my life, I think. Being a corporate lawyer is a very all-or-nothing profession, but it's very hard to balance a work-home life. And before I moved to Hong Kong, I lived in New York and London and Tokyo, and those are three of the cultural capitals of the world. And I would often joke that being a corporate lawyer, I never had any time to develop any hobbies.
Right.
So if I had any free time, I would just take advantage of the amazing cultural opportunities. And
Right.
I'd go to a show, I'd go to a concert, I'd go to a performance, a
Yeah,
ballet,
and in New York, in
a
London, in
museum.
Tokyo, you had everything.
Exactly. You know, I went to a lot of theater in London, but I had to give up English language theater when I moved to Tokyo. So classical music kind of took its place.
Yeah.
And
Japanese people love
it.
all genres of music.
Yeah. And, you know, my husband and I, we both worked in the same office tower by coincidence, which was attached to Suntory Hall.
Oh, God.
So we would often, like, buy tickets, go to a concert, which starts at 6:30 in Japan, and then go back to work.
And then go back to work.
And then go back to work. So this was a very...
That's an interesting culture.
Very regular occurrance. And so when we moved to Hong Kong, I think that's what we felt was really
missing.
lacking in our lives.
Right. Did you go to other concerts such as Hong Kong Phil and perhaps the Arts Festival that's coming?
Yeah, so I would say the local arts organizations in 2004 were not the quality of the arts organizations that they are today. Like the Hong Kong Philharmonic
Mainly it was Hong Kong Phil, HKS, Sinfonietta, ballet.
So I love the Arts Festival. I am a huge fan of the Arts Festival. I always buy way too many things for the Arts Festival because I get so excited about all of the things that are coming. But I started asking myself, why are we expected to get a year's worth of culture in 4 weeks? What about the rest of the year? Where are all of the world-class performances?
Right.
And, you know, aside from the LCSD bringing in a handful of international artists, there just didn't seem to be the steady stream of international world-class events that you would see in Tokyo, London, or New York. So round about 2006, I went to a couple of concerts that triggered my memory of an organization in Vancouver called the Vancouver Recital Society.
I see.
Which was started when I was a kid. And the woman who founded the Vancouver Recital Society focused specifically on solo recitals and chamber music, with an emphasis on finding that young talent, the people who would be the superstars of tomorrow. And I thought, you know, somebody should start the Vancouver Recital Society in Hong Kong, because by focusing on this, she actually really transformed the cultural landscape of Vancouver. And I thought, you know, somebody really needs to do that. And I noticed actually that audiences are very young in Hong Kong, unlike in North America and Europe,
Which
where
is a good
everybody's
sign.
old. Here, you know, instead of 80% of the audience being above the age of 50, here 80% of the audience is under the age of 50. And there were a lot of families bringing young kids to concerts, obviously trying to inspire their kids to practice a musical instrument, but there just wasn't enough inspirational performances. And I thought, for about 6 months, somebody should start the Vancouver Recital Society. It actually didn't even occur to me that I should be the one to do this. And
it's a very good thought.
And then I went to London the summer of 2006, and I was feeling really miserable in my job. I really wanted to I'd put my resume out looking for a new legal job. And then I had that like light bulb moment.
Calling.
Why don't I start the Vancouver Recital Society? And so I called up Leela Getz in Vancouver, and I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. You've been so, you know, she'd been doing it for about 35 years at that point. What's your secret to success? And she laughed at me, and she said, oh, you know, success is
just do it.
An illusion, but, you know, let me tell you. And she gave me kind of a roadmap of what I should do. And I just set myself on the path. And so I started in the fall of 2007 with a piano a Rising Stars piano series.
I may have heard of who performed that.
So I had 4 concerts: Ingrid Fleeter,
great pianist,
Javier Perianis, Alexander Kobrin, and Chen Jie, all of whom made their Hong Kong debuts in my series. And before I even had my first series, I had to plan my second series because City Hall plans a year in advance. So even before I held my first concert, I already had to plan my second series. And so my second year, I had Stephen Huff and Truls
I went
Mork.
to that. That was the first recital.
June 2008. and then Peter Yablonsky and Xu Feiyang, the Chinese classical guitarist.
Right,
so
right.
I had 2 seasons planned even before I had a single concert.
Yeah, it's important. Let me quickly review. 咁我問Miss Fessler 佢點解嚟到香港會做咗呢個國際音樂節啦？咁佢就話首先佢之前喺倫敦啊、東京啊、紐約啊住過啦，咁佢就覺得嗰度嘅 cultural environment 同個 atmosphere 好適合佢啦。咁但係佢嚟到香港嘅時候，佢就覺得香港有好多好好嘅，譬如話有藝術節啦，有管弦樂團啦，有唔同嘅可能 LCSC 有時做，但覺得除咗嗰陣時候，其他時候有冇啲其他嘅event 出發㗎啦，咁佢就有個 calling 就覺得點解自己唔做啦？咁佢就 call 咗喺溫哥華嘅一個都係做一個 piano recital series 嘅朋友，咁佢就決定喺香港做，咁就07年、08年開始做。So it has been almost 10 years.
Yes, we're coming up on our 10th anniversary this
Next
September.
Year. That's September.
This September, yeah.
And just 2 weeks ago, you finished the 4th or 5th International Chamber Music Festival.
The 8th.
Chamber
Music
no
Festival.
Kidding.
Yes.
So
we launched the festival in 2009.
I must say, as a may I use the word peer, because we are all in a wonderful field of making music happens in society.
Well, you really make the music. I just
no. Because I work closely with administrators, and also not just admins, but art practitioners, those who make it happen. So I understand the complexity and also the drive is necessary from not only artists. So as Pia, I'm very proud and very happy that we are all doing things for the world, or may I ask, what is the most difficult moment you have had?
Oh my goodness. You know, in the early years, there were so many times when I felt like I was beating my head against the wall.
Sorry, are you working full-time in this?
Yes, so in 2009, in 2007 and 8, I still worked as a lawyer.
Right.
And in 2009, I went full-time with Premiere Performances, and I've been full-time ever since.
I see.
So, you know, in the early years, there were a lot of disappointments. Obviously, applying.
Such as?
Well, you know,
audience or finance or.
No, actually, it was more like not getting venues.
Oh.
So I would have
a whole cupboard of rejection letters.
Yeah, I would have these great opportunities to bring in artists, and I would apply for the venue and not get it.
Yeah, of course.
It still happens. It still happens.
It still happens
today.
Yeah,
it still happens.
Course.
I mean, it's easier for us now. We tend to have very good relationships now with the venues. So I think we do get a lot of help and support, but we still get plenty of rejections for the venues.
Which I must say, sympathetically speaking, we cannot only blame the venue, because it's a big problem in Hong Kong. It's just not enough venue. It's not like they don't want to grant for us.
Right. No, I understand. I understand. It's a system. But you know, like every day things happen that are so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like earlier, just before the Chamber Music Festival started, we got a letter from our bank that we've been using for 10 years. They're unilaterally closing our account, having reviewed our files.
How is it possible?
I think there's a crackdown in Hong Kong of small sized organizations, particularly charities, and they've just unilaterally decided to close our bank account.
Okay.
So, you know, you ask me, like, what are the challenges?
Unbelievable.
Like, every day there are things that happen.
I can imagine. I really can.
So it's hard for me to say what is the single most difficult
I understand.
thing.
It's always disappointment everywhere. Venues and finance and audience and... So what kept you going?
But at the same time, I'll tell you what keeps me going. Every time I have a concert.
Oh.
Every time I have a concert and I get to sit in the audience and watch this incredible talent and this incredible music making, and then I get random emails from people I've never met before who were in the audience saying, you know, thank you so much for doing this. This is it's so meaningful, and what you're doing has such a value. Please keep going.
Right.
And you know, it's things like that I really cherish those emails.
Right. 咁我啱問佢有啲咩 challenges 啦，咁佢就話有好多嘅，可以係一開始揾場地啦，或者係有時請咗 artist 揾場地佢唔批啦，或者可能無端端可能個 bank 有啲咁嘅 complications 啦。咁問佢啲咩 keep 佢 going， 即係有啲咩令到佢繼續去做呢樣嘢，佢就係每一次佢俾完個 speech 之後，聽嗰場 concert 嗰啲 audience 嘅 feedback，去令到人哋覺得呢樣嘢係值得做，所以佢繼續做。 So how did you feel the Chamber Music Festival has evolved over the years?
So I started the Chamber Music Festival in 2009, and at the time there was almost no chamber music at all of a professional level in Hong Kong. And
or they are very scattered. Once a while, someone play one.
Very rarely.
Right.
And we got a lot of skepticism. People would ask, why are you starting a chamber music festival in Hong Kong? Nobody cares about chamber music. And then we had the first festival in June of 2009. And as soon as we finished the festival, suddenly the message was, this is exactly what Hong Kong needs, a chamber music festival. And the number of local organizations that started embracing chamber music, it was like a domino effect. One thing led to another. And the Hong Kong Phil added chamber music, and the Sinfonietta added chamber music, and the RTHK Quartet was formed, and the APA added chamber music to their mandatory curriculum for the first time. And all of that happened in the 6 months after we launched the Chamber Music Festival. Now, 8 years later, the festival has grown in size, so I think we involved almost 20 artists in our festival this year.
Usually it's around which period?
January. It's always in January. Yeah.
January.
So it's
always
like
before the Chinese New Year.
It's usually the second and third weeks of January.
I see.
And we have a lot of local artists participating in our outreach and education program.
I was one of them this year.
You were brilliant. And we have, a brilliant roster of international soloists who come in to play chamber music for, 6 concerts.
And Jimmy Lin, not the basketball player, the violin player.
Right.
Lam Qiuleung is the artistic director.
Yes.
It was a joke because there's a Taiwanese.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very famous.
Yeah. Go on.
And so our the scope and the scale of our festival has increased a lot. In the first year, it was a 4-day festival with 10 artists and I think 3 outreach events.
I see.
And now it's like a 2-week festival with 20 artists and 30 events. So it has really, I think, become like the definitive chamber music event in Hong Kong.
Right.
And looking across at the arts and cultural sector, there's now so many artists in Hong Kong that are playing chamber music, so many local groups that have been formed, so many concert series focusing on chamber music. It really is incredible to think that, we were...
And you also have some synergies program where international artists may teach master classes, or even
that's a very big part of it.
Play together with the local students or local young artists, I suppose.
That's a big part of the festival, the outreach and education.
Right. If you may have 2 magical powers to, one, change a circumstantial factor in Hong Kong in terms of arts, and secondly, you can do one magical power to change or improve anything in the festival, what would you do? Like more venue?
Well, if I had a magical power to build a new hall, I definitely would do that. Like a hall that's seated 600 to 800 people.
That's so needed, right? Just a medium,
brilliant acoustics.
Yeah, not like City Hall always have to sell them 1,000 tickets,
So I made a conscious decision back in let's say 2010 that I would much rather use City Hall Concert Hall, which is too big, than City Hall Theater, which is too small and has really bad acoustics.
Right, precisely what I'm thinking as well.
So City Hall Concert Hall, if you close the balcony, is 1,000 seats.
Yeah, exactly.
But you need 600 people in there to
I
feel
totally
good.
agree, yes.
To feel good.
To feel good.
So if we had a hall that was 600...
then it's
with
problem solved, that's right.
That would be one magical power I would have.
I totally agree. And, well, it's not going to happen under URBTEX. And not too expensive.
Yes.
And accessible.
Yes.
It's not like in, I don't know, somewhere where you have to drive to go. Because in Hong Kong, people get off work late and they go to concerts, they want to be accessible to the location. What about the second power? To improve your festival.
To improve the festival, You know, I have to say, every year the festival keeps getting better and better.
I'm sure.
And Cho Liang Lin, Jimmy, puts together, I think, really marvelous programs. At some point in the future, I guess my dream is that we will become an umbrella, like the Arts Festival is an umbrella, and a lot of local organizations will contribute programming to the Chamber Music Festival, so that it will feel like the city is coming alive with music, and in many different places and with many different people participating. I would love that.
I can see.
But
what
maybe you can help me make it happen at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know how to take it from here to there.
I see.
But I think that would be that's. I think the backbone of the festival will always be the core concerts with the international artists. But I would love to see.
It's a bit like the Lincoln Center. There's a chamber music series as well, right?
Yeah, the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center.
Exactly, right. Yes, indeed.
And actually, more music students studying chamber music too, I think.
Oh, they should all study chamber music for sure. Quickly, 咁我問咗佢好多問題，我問佢 God, I don't remember. I do remember. Wait. 我問咗佢如果可以兩個選擇做啲乜嘢嘅話，佢會將改變香港一個環境嘅因素咧，亦都係佢點樣去將佢嘅 festival 帶佢另一個層次。第一個佢希望有一個600至800嘅人嘅位 ，which 係非常 make sense， 我完全認同嘅。如果你係邊個你睇，可以大家反映下或者發聲下。就因為如果你1000個人咧，咁問題佢太大，1000個你起碼600個人，但係如果你有一個600至800個人嘅可咧，你可能已經佔咗7成半嘅 audience size。另外就係嗰科最好係要 accessible 啦，因為香港嗰啲人大部分可能佢放工好耐啊，或者係佢需要好 accessible 地方，同埋最好係 Urptix。Urptix 點解咧？因為如果你唔係 Urptix 嘅 concert 係唔可以擺 Urptix 嘅地方賣飛。咁個問題就我擺咗好多心機整一場 concert， 但係如果賣唔到飛或者係唔可以好容易話俾人知嘅，咁啊好困難。第二個就係佢希望可以將呢一個 festival 變成一個 umbrella， 令到多啲嘅可能本地嘅音樂人都可以係參與啦，或者係將佢哋嘅 program 一齊去做啦。咁另外就係希望可以推動多啲人，更加多人去學習chamber music classes， 同埋去進修呢樣嘢。How do you feel about the music education atmosphere in Hong Kong? You can say it's dreadful.
Oh, well, I would say this.
Right.
I think there are so many kids in Hong Kong studying music.
For sure.
But there's not a lot of joy or love of music being taught.
That's quite sad. How is it? Why, in your view, why is it?
I mean, I think that kids in Hong Kong are pressured by their parents to study a musical instrument
for the wrong
reasons, solely to have something on their resume, so they can apply to the right schools and the right colleges, and. I think that
it's a cursed blessing for teachers as well, if you know what I mean.
I think that music is supposed to be a creative outlet, and it's about passion and emotion, and that's really missing from the way music is taught. I think teachers themselves are also extremely busy and
overworked and perhaps disheartened even. Do you have kids?
I have 3 kids.
Do they learn music?
Kids. You know, okay, the problem is like my own personal history. My father really pushed me way too hard at the piano. And so I can't be a tiger parent when it comes to my own kids. It has to come from them. So my middle daughter takes 2 instruments of her own volition, not mine.
So you're not a tiger mom.
I'm not a tiger mother, no.
I see. So coming up, what other concerts do you have in coming?
So we have a recital series which will kick off in April. So we wait for the Arts Festival to finish. February, March, I don't do anything. And so we have a very interesting pianist in April named Gabriela Montero.
Oh, she's a genius, my God.
Making her Hong Kong debut. She's never been here before, and she's known for classical improvisation.
Oh, yeah, and she also plays extremely well everything.
So her concerts are very unusual because the second half of the program, the audience just calls out pieces, themes, and then she will just improvise to that theme.
Right.
So that's the concert in April, and we
Do you usually have one per month, or how do you? schedule them, or is it
the recital
scheduled?
series is really like in the spring, 1 April, May, June. So we have a
April.
very
Oh, okay.
interesting violinist in the middle of May named Nemanja Radulovic, who like has a rock star look with long hair and leather pants.
Oh.
And then in June we're bringing the duo of Augustine Hadelich and Joyce Yang,
Yeah.
both of whom have played in the festival
Augustine
before.
Deckley is very good violinist.
Yeah.
He won it in the Indianapolis violin competition.
Right, and Joyce Yang was the
Second prize
of Van Cliburn.
How do I know these things?
And then we also have a kids series. So we also
A
have
kids series?
a family series,
Oh, wow, I
sort of
didn't know.
aimed at the primary school audiences.
Oh.
And so we have 2 concerts in May for
good idea.
our family series.
Good idea. What do you do in those concerts?
One is a group from Australia that actually is like a world music group that focuses on Mediterranean music called Acoustic Odyssey. And the second one is an original commission called The Beat of the Dragon Boat that will tell the story of the Dragon Boat Festival for Western and Chinese instruments.
Who are performing in the second one?
It's a sextet. It's of local musicians that we're bringing together
Oh, really?
to play this
That's interesting.
original
Is it
commission.
commissioned?
We're doing the commission.
By a composer?
Yes.
Who is a composer?
Alexis Ulrich.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
So it's an original family concert commissioned.
This is the
work.
second one in the series. We did one a couple of years ago called Shadow in the Moon, which told the story of the Mid-Autumn Festival.
Oh, beautiful.
And now we're doing the Dragon Boat Festival.
Beautiful. And that is in the summer?
That's in May.
In May?
In May. The Dragon Boat Festival this year is, I think, the 30th of May. So the concert will be the 28th of May.
Wonderful.
But anyways, everything's on our website, which is www.pphk.org.
Okay. Well, thank you for bringing so many wonderful music to Hong Kong for
it's-
over a decade.
I'm so excited to be here, and I'm
And,
so happy that I could
it's my
finally
ple-
make your
it's-
acquaintance.
It's my pleasure, and I hope you bring more to Hong Kong.
Thank you very much.
And we look forward to your next concert.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
咁我哋今日嘅 interview 好好啦，佢講咗好多佢喺香港做嘅嘢啦。佢之後 concert 都可以睇到喺 www.pphk.org.hk without HK
Without HK.
without HK。大家可以上去網站睇佢之後 concert 就係通常 Arts Festival 之後4、5、6月都有唔同嘅 concert，除咗 series 之外，仲有有啲親子嘅 concert 啊。咁另外就係要公佈呢個得獎名單啊。咁其實我而家係唔記得咗嗰啲名嘅，所以咧我會喺嗰個 post 嗰度我就會寫嗰邊5個。咁我哋禮拜6就會有一個情人節同埋元宵節嘅 specials。咁I'm doing a Valentine's Day special for this
Oh, really?
thing on Saturday. Yes. And then on Sunday I'm going on the boat.
That's right.
Yes. Anyway，咁星期六就大家再見啦。咁我嗰一日就會化身呢個，算啦，唔想講或者咩情歌王子乜鬼嘢。好啦，拜拜。